Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and to those of you who are new, please subscribe if you like this kind of content, as well as unsolved mysteries and unexplained files, for this channel is dedicated to all of the above. In today's video, we are going to look at 9 bizarre cases of alien abduction stories. I took an interest in this particularly because I went through a similar experience as those of you who follow my channel are aware of. To those of you who missed that video, I will leave the link to that one down below. So without further ado, let's get into this video. The Witch. From the time they were 4 or 5 until they were 11, Wacky Y'all 123 slept in a bed with a window directly above the headboard. Frequently, they would wake up in the middle of the night and immediately be terrified, at which point they would see a tiny prick of light that would appear in the window. At that point, they would appear in Wacky Y'all 123's room and would begin tickling and grabbing them. Sometimes they would simply float outside the window, almost like ghosts. As Wacky Y'all 123 got older, they would sometimes try and run downstairs to escape them, but the beings would always grab them and pull them back inside their bedroom. Sometimes they'd escape downstairs and see their parents sitting in the living room, staring blankly and catatonically at the staticky TV screen. After that, Wacky Y'all 123 would have a vague memory of being dragged into a cylindrical room not in the house and pulled towards a podium on which sat a being that they called the Witch. The Witch would ask Wacky Y'all 123 3 questions, and when they couldn't answer, they would suddenly fall through the floor and wake up in their bed. Years later, when Wacky Y'all 123's family was cleaning out the house's loft, they found a notebook of theirs with a very clear illustration of a UFO and a gray. The common gray. When Edward RFP was around 8 years old, their family remodeled their home, at which point strange things began to happen. Edward RFP's sister saw a ghostly boy floating outside their second-floor bedroom window. Their father saw a shadowy child entering his room while he tried to sleep. The family began to believe that their home might be haunted, but Edward RFP saw slightly different phenomena. One night, they witnessed strange lights outside their bedroom window and saw a gray looking in the window. Another time, they saw a reptilian creature in their room, which hid when other people were there, and seemed very interested in Edward RFP's pet ferret. After seeing the reptilian creature, Edward RFP woke up one morning to see bruises and scratches on their back. Dr. Gray. Gypsy Goddess is used to having lucid dreams, but this one was something unlike what they had experienced before. One night, they dreamt they were walking through a museum of gray aliens. Then they remember being strapped to a hospital bed and surrounded by extremely tall doctors who didn't look human. Gypsy Goddess screamed for them to stop, at which point they put something in her arms and told her, "Your pain level is going to be on max." They then experienced agonizing, strange pain. When Gypsy Goddess woke, they had a bruise on their leg and both arms were numb. They left a mark. One night, Hiroki Swords and their then wife had the same dream. They dreamt they were flying into a brightly lit gas station-like structure that ended in a wall. Another dream they shared was one where she was lying on a table in a room, screaming, and he was watching her, unable to intervene. In the morning, they saw she had strange 3-pronged markings on her thighs, almost as if she had been touched by a creature with 3 fingers on each hand. She later would tell him of a strange experience she had as a child, in which she was riding her bike in her village. Suddenly, the pedals stopped working. She saw a flash of light and looked up to see a strange creature, like a giant praying mantis wearing a robe, coming out of the forest. She regained consciousness several hours later with no idea what had happened. Strange things happened all the time in their household. Cell phones malfunctioned, and circuit breakers and light bulbs constantly needed to be replaced. Eventually, the two broke up. Now, Hiroki Swords lives in the States and is married to another woman and no longer experiences strange phenomena. "2 days vanished." Sad Splinter has a terrifying tale. Several years ago, they remember on June 5th that they were eagerly looking forward to a friend's birthday 2 days from then, on the 7th. Then they woke to find it was the 7th. They had a total gap where their memory of the 6th should have been. They looked at their wall calendar and saw some new writing in their handwriting from the 6th, although they don't remember putting it there. Their friends had all told them that they had seemed sad and strange the day before, although they also had no memory of that. They had even prepared for the party on the 7th, but had no recollection of it. Over time, they began to think less of the strange experience. But on New Year's Day that year, they had an unnerving dream that eventually became reoccurring. In the dream, they are lying down and held back by restraints. A bright light is shining in their eyes. They could hear static that sometimes sounded like random words in different languages. For instance, the word Brian. They now typically have that dream for emotionally trying days and are planning to see a hypnosis soon. A bright light. During her senior year of high school, Lindsay 555 and her best friend were at her friend's house in Florida. They made and consumed hot brownies. Several hours later, they woke up terrified in her bed and realized they had no idea where the day had gone. Unbelievably bright light was shining in through the windows, and they could hear a humming noise. They were so terrified that Lindsay 555's friend offered Lindsay 555 $20 to go check on her family and make sure they were okay. The light was bright enough that it had to be from a car pulled up right outside the bedroom window, shining its headlights in. But there was a tree and a fence right in front of the window that would have prevented a car from parking there, and the house was too far from the highway for the light to have been coming from there. Despite the noise and the bright lights, none of the family's family woke up. Years later, Lindsay 555 believes that she and her friend were either abducted that night or witnessed someone else being abducted. Since that day, she's had the ability to mysteriously break electronic devices by going near them. The creature. Mr. Throwaway 999 also saw grays when they were a young child, starting around age 6 and continuing until their mid-30s. At age 6, they woke up to see a gray standing in the room they shared with their 2 siblings. When the gray saw it had been seen, it ran from the room and then appeared to run through the closed door of Mr. Throwaway 999's parents' bedroom. When they went to their parents' room to see if the gray was there, it appeared to have disappeared. Many similar encounters happened over the next few years, although Mr. Throwaway 999 didn't talk about it much because they were scared of being teased. Although they don't recall encounters with grays during their teenage years, Mr. Throwaway 999 had a truly terrifying experience when they were 25 and living in a third-floor apartment. They awoke to find their bed surrounded by 5 small grays and 2 smaller ones, who seemed to be performing some kind of operation. Mr. Throwaway 999 couldn't move. The grays seemed to communicate through some kind of clicking noise. Every once in a while, they would touch Mr. Throwaway 999 with a black rod, which could cause him to black out for up to 24 hours at a time. At one point, Mr. Throwaway 999 woke up on his back porch with no memory of what happened. The Greys. Reddit user UFO Probe says they were abducted multiple times up until they were 13 years old. The first memory they have of an abduction was when they were in first grade. They turned over in bed and saw a gray standing there. It was 2 to 3 feet tall, shorter than the UFO Probe, and wearing a silky-looking black V-neck shirt. They also had a V symbol on their chest. As soon as they looked at the gray, UFO Probe blacked out. Their next memory is of being woken up by their mother and told it was time for school. Bright light. Reddit user Captain Call and his girlfriend had one of the strangest Valentine's days ever. She was attending school several hours away, and the couple rarely got to see each other. They planned to rent a hotel to spend a night together. At first, everything was fine, but when they went to sleep around 11 p.m., things started to get strange. In the middle of the night, they woke to see a strange light coming in through the window. It was blue-gray, like early pre-dawn light, but the room was still fairly dark. Slowly, the door to the hotel room swung open, revealing only one glowing light outside the door. It struck Captain Call as strange that there would only be one light on in the hotel's entire hallway. But then everything about the situation he had woken up to was strange. His girlfriend was screaming, and she felt inexplicably furious, heart slamming, fist clenched. He suddenly had the same sense that something powerful was coming into the room, but he woke up before he could see what it was. The next day, his girlfriend said she had slept fine that night. Captain Call at first dismissed it as a dream, but now, years on, he's convinced something truly strange happened that night. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe so I can continue to give you creepy and scary content. Don't forget to hit the bell underneath the video so you won't miss any of my videos. Remember, my goal right now is to reach 100 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. Let me know in the comments below any ideas of stuff you'd like to see. Paranormal, cold cases, unsolved mysteries. I'll cover it all. Hope you're doing well, and talk to you guys in my next video.